In the Caribbean, the sea does not just kiss the shore, it hides secrets deeper than any man can dive. Close your eyes and let the sound of crashing waves pull you back in time to an era where the Caribbean wasn't just a paradise, but a playground of chaos and glory. The air is thick with the scent of salt, gunpowder, and spilled rum. Seagulls cry overhead, but beneath their song, you can almost hear the clash of steel and the echo of cannon fire. This is not the postcard perfect Caribbean you know. This is the wild, lawless frontier of the 17th century, where every island was a haven or a trap, every ship a threat or an escape. Here, you don't just survive, you choose your fate. Will you become a fearsome pirate, sailing with Blackbeard or Anne Bonny, chasing treasure maps and outrunning the gallows? Will you run a seaside tavern, pouring rum for rogues and royalty alike, trading gossip for gold as secrets pass over the bar? Or will you swear loyalty to the Royal Navy, hunting down outlaws in the name of justice and order? The Caribbean isn't just a place, it's a legend carved into every wave, every wreck, every whispered tale under the stars. Are you brave enough to step aboard? Like this video, share it with your fellow adventurers, and subscribe because the journey into the real Caribbean has just begun. The Bahamas. The Lucayan Taino were the original inhabitants of the Bahamas, building villages of thatched huts and sailing between islands in dugout canoes. In 1492, Christopher Columbus first set foot in the New World on San Salvador Island, meeting the peaceful Lucayans. Within just a few decades, European diseases and enslavement tragically wiped out the entire Lucayan population. For over a century afterward, the Bahamas remained mostly ignored, seen as a barren, unprofitable chain of islands. In 1656, the Spanish galleon Nuestra Señora de las Maravillas struck a reef and sank off Little Bahama Bank, carrying treasure meant for the king. Gold coins, emerald-studded pendants, and royal artifacts from the wreck still lie hidden under the sea. News of shipwrecks turned the shallow Bahamian waters into a magnet for treasure hunters and wreckers. In 1703, Nassau was captured and burned by a Franco-Spanish force, leaving it lawless and abandoned. Seizing the opportunity, pirates like Benjamin Hornigold turned Nassau into their stronghold, founding the so-called Republic of Pirates. Pirates governed themselves by democratic rules, electing captains and splitting loot equally among the crew. Edward Blackbeard, Teach famously terrorized merchant ships, tying slow-burning fuses into his beard to appear demonic in battle. Anne Bonny and Mary Read, two legendary women, fought alongside male pirates and carved their names into history from Nassau's taverns. By 1715, over 1,000 pirates lived openly in New Providence, vastly outnumbering the island's lawful settlers. In 1718, King George sent former privateer Woodes Rogers to crush piracy and bring order to Nassau. Rogers offered royal pardons to those who surrendered and built gallows for those who refused. Eight pirates were hanged publicly, signaling the end of Nassau's pirate republic. Rogers rebuilt Nassau's defenses and re-established British control, turning the tide of lawlessness. Meanwhile, Bahamians raked salt from Turks and Caicos Flats, fueling a lucrative trade to North America and Europe. Salt from the Bahamas preserved food for soldiers, sailors, and settlers across the Atlantic. During the American Revolution, Continental Marines launched the first U.S. amphibious assault by capturing Fort Montague in Nassau. Though they captured cannons and mortars, most of the gunpowder they sought had already been whisked away. In 1782, Spain briefly captured Nassau before returning it to Britain under treaty agreements. After the war, Loyalist refugees from America and their slaves settled in the Bahamas, attempting plantations that largely failed. During U.S. prohibition in the 1920s, Bahamian sailors smuggled vast amounts of rum into Florida under the nose of the U.S. Coast Guard. Captain Bill McCoy became famous for running the real McCoy, uncut, high-quality liquor-toe-thirsty American speakeasies. World War II brought new dangers. German U-boats prowled Bahamian waters, sinking ships and threatening supply lines. After the war, the Bahamas pivoted toward tourism, capitalizing on its clear waters, shipwrecks, and coral reefs. Shipwrecks like the Maravillas inspired diving adventures and filled museums with treasures lost and found. Beneath every crystal-clear lagoon and secluded beach lies a story of shipwrecks, battles, and pirate hideouts. Today, the Bahamas is a paradise where the echoes of piracy, trade, and exploration still whisper in every breeze. Curacao. The sun begins to set over Nassau. The golden light glitters off the waters where pirate ships once ruled without mercy. You stand there feeling the pulse of a past soaked in blood, freedom, and betrayal. Nassau pirate republic where outlaws once carved their own code into history. But the Caribbean, it never sleeps. Beyond these turquoise waves lies another secret, another stronghold, another legend. A place untouched by many, but whispered about by all who dared the seas. A place called Curacao. The winds grow stronger, carrying the scent of salt, rum, and adventure. Your ship lifts its sails, chasing the fading sun across endless blue. Days blur into nights. Stars guide you through waters both breathtaking and treacherous. Until, on the horizon, colors emerge, colors unlike any you've seen before. Curacao. An island where the buildings gleam in bright blues, pinks, and yellows like candy against a deep Caribbean sky. But don't let the beauty fool you. Beneath this painted paradise lies a history of rebellion, survival, and power. In the 17th century, the Dutch West India Company transformed this island into a trading empire. Gold, spices, slaves, everything had a price. Curacao's harbors bustled with merchants and mercenaries, men who would sell their souls for fortune. Pirates lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike as ships loaded with treasures departed these shores. Fortresses like Fort Amsterdam were built to guard against those who came under the black flag. But not all battles were fought with cannons and swords. Some were won in smoky taverns, over whispered deals and exchanged gold. Curacao was a chessboard, and every ship in the harbor was a pawn in a much larger game. The island became a crucial link between Europe, Africa, and the Americas. A heartbeat of commerce and a heartbeat of darkness. Even now, you can walk the narrow streets of Willemstad and hear the echoes of deals long dead. You can almost see the silhouettes of ships crowding the harbor, their flags snapping in the salty breeze. And if you listen closely, maybe you'll hear the clink of gold coins being passed beneath a table. Or the distant roar of a cannon somewhere far across the water. Curacao was a sanctuary for some, a prison for others, and a playground for the boldest adventurers. Behind every colorful facade lies a story of survival against impossible odds. Will you dare to uncover them? Will you wander the fortresses, dive into the crystal-clear coves, and seek the ghosts that history forgot? The Caribbean is calling, and Curacao is just the next chapter of a story that refuses to end. Secrets lie waiting beneath the surface. Treasures some made of gold, others of blood and memory. Are you brave enough to keep sailing deeper into this world? Stay with us. The next adventure is just around the corner. Jamaica. The sails catch the wind once more, pulling you away from the colorful streets of Curacao. But the Caribbean isn't finished with you yet. Ahead lies an island of Legenza Place where music, mystery, and rebellion rise like mist from the hills. You sail north, chasing the drumbeats carried over the waves. Until, rising from the blue, you see it, Jamaica. A land where every breeze carries the scent of spices, salt, and secrets. a land forged by colonizers, shaped by warriors, and crowned by artists. In the 17th century, pirates like Henry Morgan called Jamaica a fortress for those who lived by no law but their own. Port Royal, once known as the wickedest city on earth, was their playground. Here, fortunes were won, lost, and stolen in a single night. Until one fateful morning in 1692, when the earth trembled and the sea swallowed Port Royal whole. Some say it was divine punishment. Others say it was the price of living too close to the edge. But Jamaica didn't sink. It rose from the ruins, wilder, freer, more alive than ever. Today, its heartbeat is reggae, a rhythm born from struggle, hope, and defiance. In Kingston, the streets pulse with the spirit of Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and generations who turned pain into poetry. In every corner, music spills like sunlight, a celebration of survival. But Jamaica's story isn't just written in song. It's etched into fiery flavors that explode on your tongue. Jerk chicken smoked over pimento wood, tender and spicy. Fresh-caught snapper seasoned with thyme, scallion, and Scotch bonnet peppers. sweet festival bread, and rich coconut rice that melt in your mouth. Food here isn't just a meal, it's a memory carved deep into your soul. And then there are the festivals. Carnival paints the streets with a riot of color, music, and dance. Feathers, sequins, steel drums, and endless smiles light up every alley and avenue. No one stands still. The island itself seems to dance. Beyond the cities, nature reigns supreme. Misty blue mountains whisper ancient secrets to the sky. Emerald jungles hide waterfalls so pure, they look like liquid diamonds. Raging rivers, hidden caves, and cliffs that dare you to leap into crystal waters. Off the coast, coral reefs bloom with life, a kaleidoscope swirling beneath the waves. Jamaica is a land where danger and beauty have always danced together. Where every path you choose could lead to a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. Will you seek the sunken ruins of Port Royal? Taste the fire of jerk under a jungle canopy? Lose yourself in the music that made the world sway? The island is calling you loud, bright, and impossible to ignore. Stay aboard, because Jamaica is just the beginning. The next chapter of the Caribbean awaits, wilder and more breathtaking than anything you can imagine. St. Lucia. In the eastern Caribbean Sea, where trade winds stir secrets through rainforest canopies, lies St. Lucian Island that seems to breathe magic. But how well do we really know this place? Most people recognize the twin peaks of the Pitons, those jagged emerald fangs rising over Soufriere Bay. But few know that these UNESCO World Heritage giants are actually plugs of ancient volcanoes, frozen mid-eruption. Beneath them, the earth still simmers. In Sulphur Springs, the world's only drive-in volcano visitors can park their cars beside bubbling mud pools and sulfur vents. Steam curls through the jungle, carrying the scent of minerals in something older, wilder. Do you believe that a place can remember its fire? St. Lucians often speak of Gros Piton with reverence. Local fishermen claim it sings at night. Was it the wind or something else? This is a place where history hides in plain sight. Near the town of Choiseul, archaeologists uncovered petroglyphs carved by the island's first inhabitants, the Arawak's faces with wide eyes etched into stone. What were they watching? And what did they fear? During the 17th and 18th centuries, St. Lucia changed colonial hands no fewer than 14 times between the British and the French. Locals joke it had a different flag every other weekend. But behind the humor lies a turbulent past of plantations, rebellion, and silent survival. At Morne Fortune, once a brutal British military fort, cannons still stand guard over castries. But now, they overlook schools and markets instead of blood-soaked fields. The resilience of this island hums in its people. Lucian Creole, music, and cuisine all blend African, East Indian, and European rhythms into something uniquely theirs. In Dennery on a Saturday night, the fish fry turns into a street-wide drumbeat of laughter, rum, and sizzling mahi-mahi. But step just beyond the crowd, and fireflies begin their quiet dance. Why do so few speak of the wild parrots of the Millet Bird Sanctuary? Or the orchid species that bloom only once every 7 years in Edmund Forest Reserve? St. Lucia's biodiversity is staggering. Nearly 200 bird species and more than 1,300 plant varieties thrive here. Yet, most visitors never leave the beach. What do they miss? What stories remain buried under fig trees and volcanic ash? St. Lucia does not give itself away easily. But for those who listen carefully, the island murmurs truths older than maps. And perhaps, if you climb the Pitons just before dawn, you'll hear them too. Grenada. And as the morning mist lifts from the pitons, the journey continues southward over sapphire waters, past drifting clouds, toward another emerald mystery, Grenada. Here, the sea changes its voice. It laps gently against shores lined with almond trees, but carries a deeper scent of spice, soil, and something smoldering just beneath. They call it the Isle of Spice, but Grenada is more than nutmeg and cocoa. Its hills smell of cinnamon bark, but its valleys whisper of revolt. The island pulses with color-vibrant houses on steep slopes, market stalls bursting with turmeric, and women in headscarves bartering like they're dancing. But there's weight beneath the rhythm. Do colors ever hide pain? In 2004, Hurricane Ivan stripped Grenada bare. 90% of homes were damaged. Entire forests uprooted. Even churches laid flat like paper. Yet within a year, the nutmeg trees began to bud again. The people never stopped planting. But long before Ivan, Grenada bore other storms: colonial battles, slave uprisings, and perhaps most memorably, a revolution that shook the Caribbean's core. Does an island remember when it was on the edge of becoming something new? In 1979, Maurice Bishop led a bloodless coup and ignited dreams of socialism, education, and pride. For 4 years, Grenada danced with a different rhythm. Then came 1983. Gunfire cracked across Fort George. Bishop fell. And within days, American boots landed on Grenadian soil. The Cold War had reached the Caribbean. Ask an elder in St. George's, And they'll still speak of that week with a kind of hush like they're tasting something bitter they've learned to live with. History here is not found in museums. It's in glances, scars, and silences. And yet, Grenada is also joy. At Grand Anse, the sea glows teal and the air tastes of salt and sugar. Children dive from wooden docks while fishermen mend their nets with quiet pride. The scent of nutmeg oil lingers on palms and foreheads. Dive beneath its waters and another world opens the Molinaire Underwater Sculpture Park, where statues of real people lie in coral silence. Are they drowning or dancing? Nature reclaims everything here. Even the pain. Even the past. And as evening falls and the island breathes out its heat, one can't help but wonder, how many islands in the Caribbean are still writing revolutions with their soil? The boat waits again, its bow pointed toward the Grenadines, then maybe Trinidad, or further still. But for now, Grenada holds the story. Warm, complex, quietly defiant,